Hello, my beautiful spirits from Mila and Whimsy. How you doing? So I thought I would come on. I'd give you a quick... Oh, something just flew by. I would give you a quick remote view, and then maybe we'll throw some cards. I'm playing with a new lipstick color. What do you think? On a side note. Okay, so let's talk. I was meditating today, and I was thinking about NATO. And I was thinking about Sweden and Finland joining NATO. And I was thinking about the fact that they openly said, well, we're probably going to mount a ground defense in August, and we'd like to be done before winter. And Finland and Sweden are coming in, and they've got great planes. Why would NATO be talking so openly and saying, yeah, we're going to do it this way? Now the remotes are becoming public. Like when they signed on July 5th, they're saying, great, we got the planes. We're doing a ground offensive. It'll be August such and such at such and such a time. And then they're starting to openly talk. So why would they do that? Why would they have given me permission to talk about it a couple weeks early? And now it's blah, blah, blah. Because how it feels to me is that NATO came to the decision that they had no choice. So the best thing to do at this point is to simply tell Russia, we are serious, we will do this. By August 15th, we will be midway through the operation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This gives Russia an opportunity to stand down. Because what NATO is basically saying publicly, and now it feels like when you try to objectively look at what would be the point of being so transparent. The point of being so transparent is to give Russia a couple of weeks to get themselves together from this madness and sit down to the table and begin withdrawing from Ukraine. So the question was asked again about threats of nuclear war. If they use nuclear wars, the fallout is going to hit. It's going to go mostly east, right? So it would affect the very areas that Russia wants and parts of Russia. So that's the concern. So for that reason, the very thing that Russia feared, which was the closing of corridors, the vulnerability of the flatlands, not being able to secure Russia, being surrounded by NATO. This teaches us something really interesting from a spiritual perspective, which is, again, the thing that we fear comes to us. And so the very thing that they feared, which was to be at the mercy of NATO, has now happened. But from this, I believe that it's very likely Russia will stand down, because if they don't stand down, they will lose, and many Russians will suffer in many ways. Because even the threat of nuclear war will not detour NATO at this point, because the situation is so serious from their perspective that they have no choice but to remove Putin and to remove Russians from Ukraine and to secure the area because of the threats of nuclear war. So this is where we find ourselves. So the wisest course would be for Russia to be able to save face and enter into some kind of mediation to stop this, because I'm getting the hit that by August 15th, they're well into this operation if Russia does not stop now and seriously begin negotiating a withdrawal from Ukraine and the Donbass. They have to just go. All right, we're going to do the empath prayer, and we're going to take a look at January 6th today. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower us all on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Let's take a look. It's a very red lipstick. The main thing I wanted to say about January 6th is it feels like 4 major people will now be cooperating with the investigation because of Cassidy Hutchinson. I'd also like to say that it just feels like it's over, that Trump is caught. I feel like Mueller got his man. I think he must have signed something. I think that's why they closed what was going on in New York. I think they all confessed to something secretly. I think that then the financial crimes were exactly what Mueller said he was going to do, passed on to the appellate. Now, in agreement for signing this sealed confession, etc., they now have to have open admission for 7 hours, I think it is, and it's going to be publicly broadcast. So I guess Americans will be able to see them basically confessing to their financial crimes. So it's not like they got totally off the hook. And after that, and I think most of the readers saw this, they will then begin repo. They will then begin taking pretty much everything. Now, when you follow the energy of Ivanka Trump, because she signed documents on so much stuff, she's probably going to lose everything. It's really quite a heavy financial toll, because truth be told, they've hurt a lot of people. So the main issue they're talking about here is the money. The money. They're going to be hit with the issues of money. Now, in terms of the Trumps, those are the crimes that happened prior to January 6th. So they're already wiped out financially. But then you have the issue of them being culpable potentially for crimes, people being harmed, etc., and possible civil lawsuits. And we have that coming up here as well with the grief card. And so many people are probably going to be suing the Trumps, and then we have some kind of agreements and civil suits that will happen, and some kind of spiritual resolution for the nation. Also, again, I would reiterate that when you're doing a card chart reading for the nation and you're looking for the ethos of the nation, the higher ethos of the nation, the social contract, we think of it as the Constitution. So when we do a card chart for the government, if you're using tarot the way I do, the ethos or the higher power, of course, would be the Constitution. So the Hierophant acts as the Constitution. Yeah. So this is a family that really pays a heavy toll financially. The people get their power back, and it's hailing a really positive, almost like a period of peace after the threat of war. And I'll show it to you. Here you have the payment going out from the Trumps from the prior January 6th. Look at this, leaves to poverty. You know, it's one of, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of people that get, famous people that somebody didn't handle their taxes right, and so the government comes and takes their Emmys or their Grammys and auctions them off to get the money. It almost has that kind of feel with Ivanka. Like, this is a girl that could be winding up sleeping on a friend's couch by the end of this, because you have this energy of the poverty card. And in terms of just what happened, there's also a feeling of the nation being just in a kind of perpetual shock, the grief and the confusion over the issue of the deal and the resolution to get our lives back after January 6th. There's this aspect of power magician with the people. And finally, the dove of peace comes to us, the Ace of Cups, which would indicate that we can potentially come out of this threat, because it feels to me like the tension is very high. We have NATO, we have those initial documents being signed that basically say we're going to wait until August unless it's an emergency. So those were already signed. So you can imagine, when you put yourself in the shoes of Putin, what this feels like. I'm going to take a quick look at Georgia. Well, Trump will be subpoenaed for the Georgia case, and he's going to have to appear for a deposition. I don't know if this is public information yet, but you can see cooperation, giving communication, probably a deposition. Here's an offer. So, and then here offers. This is, again, almost like the potential to close a case in agreement for a confession or something like that. So if this person could be resolved financially. And in that sense, people may feel like justice is denied over Georgia. You can see here, economics, Page of Pentacles, the healing, and then Ace of Pentacles. So again, I'm upset because this is dark money in elections, and then money paid from whatever source to deal with the problem of dark money in elections, people pushing and changing votes, etc. And to heal and to have money come up. Money, you can't just throw money at these problems like voters' rights. You need a constitution that has an equal rights amendment that is protecting everyone, and we still don't have that. We can't just throw money and say, okay, everybody gets money now, so everybody's okay. There has to be some sense of justice. The healing, Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles, which is a need for justice about what's going on in Georgia. Everyone's vote should be equally counted in Georgia. So you have this issue of justice being denied in Georgia. And then the truth will come out. So here's the warning from the feds. Here is the warning from Merrick Garland. You are not going to override the federal government when it comes to voter rights. And those states that are attempting to do that, Georgia, Texas, by limiting access to voting, etc., could face serious consequences from the feds based on these cards. Just because you have that high priestess uncovering because of this attempt to deny justice, to maybe give money to and penalties to take away problems that are much deeper. All right, so I want to thank you for watching. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. The information's below the video. Or if you'd like a taped a small mini reading sent to you, you can reach me through Wizio. That information's also below the video. Thank you so much for your support, everyone. We'll see you next time. Be well. Bye-bye.